My kids, we had to break the news to my children that we put our dog down last night. So that was.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's my son. Oh my God! It was one of those things where I, for the first time ever, called a Carolla family meeting.
Wow.
That had to scare the shit out of me.
Wait. Was the first time in history a Carolla family meeting's ever been called?
Were they trying to figure out who they were going to live with?
Yeah. The Carolla, when I was a kid, I watched the Brady Bunch, and every once in a while they would have a Brady family meeting in that weird room that Mrs. Brady did her needlepoint in. I don't know what was going on in that room, but it was down on the first floor, and I said and I always wanted to have a Carolla family meeting, but my dad was such a fucking idiot. My mom was in her bedroom with the door locked, yelling "freak out," looking at her biorhythm wheel. There's no way.
Den.
Yeah, but they would have a Carolla. They would have these meetings.
There's the crocheting room.
Yeah, and every once in a while, like there is that thing. Alonzo, you don't have any kids, right?
No, so I don't have family meetings.
Oh man.
I have them by myself. I just sit there and say, listen, Alonzo, we need to talk about this.
When you come from where I come from, every once in a while you attempt to do a dad move, but you're always scared you're going to get called out. Like, I'm always scared my kid's going to just go, who the fuck are you kidding, Jufro? You don't know shit.
Right.
Why are we listening to you? But I try to do these. I called the Carolla family meeting, and I explained that we had to put Molly down, and that I said she went to the hospital, and then she went to sleep, and she's asleep now. And then my wife started getting into the remember the Rainbow Bridge. There's a Rainbow Bridge, and on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge, I think, is Fire Island. I'm not sure exactly how the story. I've tuned out, but
is
I
this
assume.
a metaphor, or is it an actual rainbow
there's
bridge?
a bridge. There's like a rainbow bridge, and Nana and the cat that died are like on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge.
Right.
And then you cross over the Rainbow Bridge, and then you're there, and everyone's there waiting for you. So she was giving the Rainbow Bridge speech. I was giving my son immediately just broke down into a heap, which made me then break down. Will you be honest, guys? Guys seeing guys cry makes guys cry quick. I know that was a little bit bumpy. No, hold on.
I don't know.
Brian's
I don't know.
What about when Brian sung? What about when Gail Sayers was talking about loving Brian Piccolo?
There's moments. But that's a sports thing. That's a thing that gets you, but that gets everybody.
When guys can watch women cry endlessly and go, bitch, get your shit together.
Yep.
Right.
Jesus Christ, get it together. We're going to miss the fucking flight. Let's go. Mop it up. Let's go. But if you see a dude crying, you'll just start crying.
I don't know that I'll start.
It's true.
I'll give him the cry. I will give him the cry.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to cry with him. It depends on what happens.
Well, I'm just thinking.
But I understand that. When you put the
you're
dog
making
down,
me into a puss.
No,
I'm
my
not.
son
started crying.
your son started crying.
It
that
made
one
me
is
cry.
definitely.
Get back on the Rainbow Bridge, you homo.
I'm just saying that if I came in here and Brian was bawling his eyes out, I'd probably be, what the fuck is wrong with Brian?
You wouldn't join in?
No, I'd be like, Jesus, man up, it's a show.
Got a big black troll under the Rainbow Bridge, everybody.
What I was going to say, Adam, isn't this year or last year the Pope said that dogs officially go to heaven? Like he changed the rules? Because like 5 years ago, there was no Rainbow Bridge for the pets. And this Pope changed the rules, right?
So I explained. The Pope's. So
you're good.
How'd that go over?
You gave them the papal decree, the children.
So my son, by the way, I was thinking of that scene that always made me cry when Gail Sayers, Billy D. Williams, was explaining that he loved Brian Piccolo to the locker room, who was Khan.
Brian Song.
Montalban?
Brian Song.
James Caan.
James Caan.
No.
James Caan,
I thought you meant Con.
Yeah, no, sorry. Would have been fun if he left off his first name. Like if he just stood up and just went, I love Piccolo. I was like, you love miniature flutes?
Strange wind instruments?
Why are you getting so emotional? We can get those on any corner. I mean, Brian Piccolo. So my son immediately started just a heap of tears,
Oh, boy.
which then turned me into a heap of tears because I've never seen him just go like that. Like
We
he
were
just
giving
went.
you a hard time, but it's an emotional moment. You probably were dreading having just to tell them, right?
Oh my God! I
pretty
must
emotionally packed.
We had that Carolla family meeting. Got kicked down the fucking road like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like I said, let's do it at 4 in the afternoon, and my wife's like, let them eat dinner, and then they ate dinner, and then they were done. I called another Carolla family meeting, and my wife was like, no, let them do their homework.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, all right, we got another Carolla family meeting.
You called
It's
your
coming
first
up.
3 family meetings within an hour of each other?
I had about a 3-hour span where I was calling Carolla family meetings and being completely shut down by my wife, and then it's like, let's have another one. No, let them get in their jammies because
she wanted to put off. Too.
yeah, she was kicking it down the road. So my daughter said something that was insanely sad, which is, I want to cry, but I can't, which then made me cry more. And then she started going like a banshee after that.
Oh,
like
my
it was like a black funeral. Sorry, but she was like a crazy, heavy-set woman of color,
we
yelling,
cried,
"Take me!"
yeah.
She was trying to throw herself into the grave.
My mother always said that they yell "take me," but they never jump in the hole. They always like, "Oh Lord, take me." She said, "I never seen one jump in the hole."
Yeah, well, to be fair,
And
we
she
might have.
actually said it at a funeral, which was funny. 'Cause I'm like, Mom, don't crack jokes at the funeral, even though that was a good one.
To be fair, we might have to widen the hole a little bit. Some of
For
those,
some
some of those
you
guys
might.
got a big carriage on them. Like put a little add leaf on that grave. You know what I mean? Like it's Thanksgiving. All right. So then my daughter started bawling, and then my daughter, in classic form, all my son was doing was hugging and crying, and then at a certain point, my daughter did when did this happen? And my wife was like, we did it last week before you went to school. And then she looked at my wife and went like, why didn't you pull us out of school? Why did you lie to us? Like it started me. All my son was all he was in is mourning mode.
He's rocking, holding his knees up
She's
to his
indignant.
chest.
And all she went and she sobbed for about 8 seconds and then went into accusatory attack mode about why she was not notified, why she was not pulled out of school. We should have known about this.
What was
Wait
your
a minute,
answer?
Adam. So you're saying a woman instantly shifted from tears to anger?
Yes.
Imagine that.
So weird. So weird.
I've never seen that happen.
This is why we're so cavalier about you guys crying. Mop it up, sweetie. Uber's going to be here in 3 minutes. Let's not make fools of both ourselves. Someone's going to think I was beating on you. Let's go. Yeah, that's why we don't. That's why we don't care. So
So when she started in with the accusations, what did you say? I don't know why I didn't pull you out
I
of school.
shut her down very quickly. I was like, listen. Sonny was with me. We're in Monterey. We weren't going to tell you.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell you shit, by the way. She was like lawyering up at that point. She's got Gergos
and
on
at what
speed
time
dial.
did you find out?
Yeah. And she was literally putting a case together to do a class action lawsuit.
She was deposing you?
She started recording us on her phone, so everyone was just a mess, and a lot of hugs and tears and all that good stuff. And then today, by the way, as of this morning, it's as if Molly was never born, by the way.
Oh.
That's what's got to be great about being a kid. It's like, hey, Sonny, how you doing? Great, high five, top of the morning to you.
It's a new day.
Yep, we're going to play some soccer at school day. It's going to be awesome. Like, it never happened.
Resilience.
Yeah, or they don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they do in the moment, but then they
in
got
the
other
moment.
shit to
Right.
think about. It's
Right.
another day.
Right. So they got, we're going to get a little box with the ashes and the paw print. By the way, it's probably just a rubber paw that they use on all the. Let's get the paw print of like a 60-pound Rottweiler when you had a little, teacup poodle or whatever. It's just they guesstimate the weight of the paw.
Yeah.
They probably have it on a keychain, which
Yeah,
paw to
they
use.
gotta-
By the way, it's not like I'm going to look at this thing and go, wait a minute, those aren't Molly's pads. Hold on. Something stinks in Denmark.
They probably got a shelf full of box tops, and they're like,
Right.
What'd you have, Collie?
Yeah, that's good.
Got it right here.
Yeah. So she'll come back, and then we'll do a little ceremony. I, by the way, cannot stop thinking like the world's most practical man, which is I just bought a mattress full of kibble. Like literally 180-pound kibble sack.
What's
and
the
I'm like,
resale value on that?
I got to get at least 40 cents back on the dollar. This is high grade, diabetic. I went with the chicken. It was a little more than a lamb, but I thought she was worth it. Didn't know she would up and die. I don't know why I have to put up in front of die. No one ever gets confused by just dying.
No.
Your dog died? What's that? Died? No? Up and died. Oh, I get it. I'm sorry to hear that.
You're gonna have to do a curb alert on Craigslist.
Yes,
Put it outside.
I gotta get that fuck. She's got 2 beds that retailed for at least $80 a pop. By the way, here's how my life worked. 2 beds the dog had. It was 1 bed over here, 1 bed in the living room, the dog in the middle on the tile floor, and now 3 things for me to fucking trip over on my way to the kitchen. By the way, somewhere around the 2nd or 3rd bed, realize dogs do not sleep on beds, even when you tell them to sleep on the bed and you put them there. As a matter of fact, dogs do with beds and places to sleep what we do with hats.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody put a hat on you? And it doesn't matter. I swear to God, I put my hat on. I got a ball cap on right now. If you did laser imaging and you drew a dot around it and you used the 15 different lasers let's see, what would they do? Let's see, they'd use
like the motion capture balls?
Yeah, like a transit and things like that. You used everything, and then I took my hat off and I handed it to you, and then you put it on my head exactly within a Smurf's cunt hair of where it is right now. Like, that's a unit of measurement. Exactly where it is right now. I would still have to get a little adjustment. Like I still have to move once down, once back. I just gotta make it my own.
Whether or not you change it or not, you have to adjust.
You have to adjust. You have to adjust. And the thing about the dog is, if you want it to sleep in this thing, which by the way is fleece lined and costs $110 in the Sky Mall. And looks awesome, by the way. Like, whenever I get drunk, I'm thinking, I want to sleep there. You know what I mean? I got to make one of those human size, you know?
Be so lucky.
It's fucking awesome. I need some.
I'm sure if you had turned the page in the Sky
They would have found
catalog,
a human-sized one?
Found the human one.
Yeah. Yeah, like, shall I sleep in a life-size human bed or play chess with giant inflatable pieces in my pool? But she will never sleep in the thing you want her to sleep in. She'll always just get up and sleep on the tile floor next to it.
Well,
yes.
The same thing with the adjusting of the hat. Wherever you want the dog, wherever the dog starts, has to do 1 lap. Has to do a lap.
You can lay it down. It'll get up. It'll do 1 lap and lay down exact same.
Place.
Yes. And let me say this to all the dogs out there. People do this thing where they go, well, this is a vestige of its past because its ancestors would be in the bush and they'd want to rub their, whatever. And it's like, we're in La Cañada. You got 4 zones of air conditioning. Knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
You're getting fed by hand by Guatemalan chick and you're sleeping on a terracotta tile floor. We're
not
not out in the
burrowing
bush
into the
anymore.
snow,
Yeah, we're fine. Maybe I don't miss her as much as I thought I would. But,
well, how long until there's a new puppy in the Carolla house? Because that's something you can do with the kibble is just hold on to it. Kibble.
Getting another diabetic dog.
Kibble futures.
Well, if I hang on to it, I'm either going to have to get a new dog, lickety split, or tell the nanny she's going to have to change her diet because I ain't throwing. I'm sorry, but I'm not throwing that shit out.
Yeah. Good news, high in fiber.
Yeah, nanny kibble.
Is a new dog the next Carolla family meeting?
I sort of floated it out there a little bit, which I realize is insanely insensitive.
Practical.
Well, it's just wildly insensitive. But then I also realized, like, when a dog dies, it's pure. Like when Molly was the kind of dog who would just get up and say hi to everybody and wag her tail so hard that her body bent in the middle, that kind of move. Yeah. And to the very end, 2 days before she died, when she couldn't really get up and she was very tired and she was medicated and things like that, you would just come walking into the house and you'd hear thump, 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 her tail on the hardwood floor. She couldn't move anymore, but she was kind of letting you know, right. I'm happy to see you. And I thought to myself, that's dog. And then when you think about people and people dying, it's a little more complicated.
There's some time in the hospital where they can't recognize you, or
I'm thinking more like maybe the old man owed me a couple of bucks before he kicked off. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, Dad, we never did hug, did we? Yeah. You didn't go to too many Pop Warner football games, did you, old man?
Last chance.
Right.
Chance to let them know.
What I'm saying is it's not like you or your dog needs to settle up.
There's very little baggage associated with
No
your
baggage.
dog.
Zero baggage. Literally a bag filled with kibble. That's the only baggage there is that is left behind. Is a double-lined bag with a picture of a chicken on it.
Yeah.
That's it. But with the parents or the siblings or the whatevers, there's some
wiggle
Now,
room.
I have a dog question for you. Okay, like you talked about your dog, 4 air-conditioned rooms, climate control. If you took the dog to the vet on a regular basis, I guess you knew the dog was diabetic, Bob. And I've encountered that. My brother's one of those dog owners, but we always say, like, my grandmother lived on a farm. You ever see a country dog that's, like, never allowed in the house, and they never quite feed it? They just throw food out that they didn't eat.
Yeah.
Scraps.
Those dogs live for, like, 35 years.
Right.
They never go to the vet. Like it's pouring rain. They're like, I got to dig a hole.
Right.
'Cause you're not coming in the house. But they never get sick. And they never put a country dog to sleep, right?
No,
You
and
never heard that.
The idea of spending more on the dog than a good used pickup truck is insane.
Right. Nah, that wouldn't
and
happen.
you know, in the country, it's like Bowser got into a scrap with a bear. Oh, Kodiak, grizzly, or are we just talking brown bear? Like, what do we mean over here? Like full size?
Yeah, well, you know what? Now Bowser has 3 legs.
Right.
That's all.
That'll be
Bowser gets by with 3 legs now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I work with a guy, Nate, who we did Road Hard. We did it right here, by the way. Thank you very much, Flappers. And we did the Paul Newman winning the racing life of Paul Newman as well. Not here, but he's from Montana. And when you're from Montana, you get to shoot shit and nobody really judges. Like, he's just like, well, I'm from Montana. So when one of our dogs got sick, my brother just take it out back and he had a 44. And that was it. And I was like, oh, okay. But if you're from Encino, I'd be like, you're a maniac. That's the fucking problem from being from fucking, I'm from NoHo. I'm from Valley Village. I can't do shit.
You don't old yeller your dog.
Yeah,
here.
you get to, if you're like from the hood or you're from New Orleans or there's a white version, there's a black version, there's a Montana version, and there's a New Orleans version, there's a whatever you can do. There's a version where it's like your mama, you're black, you're from wherever. You can talk about your mama putting a whooping on you all day long and getting, she'd tell you to go pick out your own car antenna. We'd have to go walk to a Costco and pick out our own car antenna, and then she would weigh the car antenna. If it wasn't hefty enough, we'd have to go back and get a bigger one. She wanted the guy with the Jeep and the CB, so she'd take that shit and she'd whip that shit out, and we deserved it. And everyone would sit around. There you go. You said that shit. Yeah, I'm from Encino. Yeah, my mom get a car antenna and beat that. Oh my God, that's horrible. She should be arrested.
What a maniac.
Right, and the same with shooting the dogs. Yeah, just announce to everyone you meet you're either from New Orleans or Montana, and then after that you could just say, oh, yeah, we kill people all the time. It's no big deal. In Montana. Yeah, we'd make jerky out of them.
Just
Tough winters.
Don't bring those habits to the big city.
Yeah.
You got to leave that in Montana. You can't.
Yeah, but this guy was telling me all about... he was like, he literally said, well, we had a kitten. And I said... where'd you get the kitten? Oh, we had a neighbor put them all in a burlap sack, and he was throwing them into the river, and my brother grabbed them, and I was like, oh, well, there you go. You're from Montana. I guess that's what you... Yeah, I'm sure that guy was the mayor, by the way. But if you're from North Hollywood or Valley Village, you can't say any shit.
That would be all over the news, by the way, if
Right.
they found 8 kittens in a burlap
Can't
sack.
beat anyone with an antenna. Can't shoot a dog. Can't do shit.
Most of the comedy tonight, everyone.
They're
will
just
deal
holding
with
you
dead
back,
dogs and
aren't they,
kittens,
Adam?
I am.
The world's just holding you back.
My place of origin is holding me back. All right, so Molly Girl's gone. The kids had a nice big fat cry about it, and it was sad. But we had the whole bridge and Nana and all that kind of stuff. And today it's as if they've never owned a dog. So God bless them.